Alright, welcome back to Aldridge Farm. I'll give Tom the day off. I had to walk the fields and there's no actual need to do anything with them, so they don't need any extra fertiliser, so he might have the day off. So I'm just going to go and put as much TMR as we've got. I just want to check I've got enough weight on the, I've got some weight. Oh great. That should do it. Get some weight on the front. I'm just going to put some TMR in the kettle and tell you a little tale. And I'll top the feed mixers up again. So first of all, we're going down to the feeds, well, the beef facility, actually pick the trailer up and to pick the first lot of TMR up. I don't think it's a lot, a couple of load possibly, may not even be that. I've been meaning to top that up now for a rather long time, and I just haven't got round to it. But the cattle are now getting very short of food. We know they've got plenty of straw, but because they top them up whilst we're harvesting the first batch. But the story, right, mother-in-law has been researching family history, and not only has she been researching family history, every time she finds a member of the family who's still alive, she is, I think she calls it Googling, and it sounds disgusting to me, but apparently it's the way to find out more, and searching what's known about them on the internet. Well, one of the relations I already knew a bit about was a rather rich, very distant relation, whereas I think at most in hundreds of thousands of pounds, he thinks in hundreds of millions. Yeah, see, he's that rich. He'd make the Crawford Browns look like paupers. But the story goes, he's down on the coast. He's at a place called Dusty Cove. But the story is, which mother-in-law sort of pieced together from the internet and from a, what they call them, a flog. I don't understand it, vlog or whatever they call them. It's American chap, he's doing an Oliver Blackmore, I think his name is. He's taken over his grandfather's farm. Now his grandfather 30-40 years ago was getting into financial difficulties, as we all were at that time, to be honest. It was not a good time to be in farming. We were the arch enemies of everything, apparently. We still are, but we seem to be pulling through it a bit now. Organic has helped a lot in that respect, and better animal husbandry, but that's beside the point. The main story is Oliver's grandfather had one field which was worth rather a lot of money even in those days, and it was close to the town. Now he decided he couldn't afford to rent on it, or not the rent but the rates on it, and all the other bits and pieces. He couldn't afford to plant it and tend it properly, so he made it available to the council. And he didn't. He was going to take a rent from it, is what he said, and there's a couple of provisos. One, that he had first called to get it back when the time came, and two, they did not build on it. That was all written into the contract. So he took one of the councillors, or council officers, I don't think he was a councillor at the time, he was a council officer, was in charge of it, and he agreed at all, and it was a 20-year lease to the council. So this was 30 years ago, I think. Well, come the 20 years time up, and by this time the grandfather was in real trouble. He could no longer really cope. Everything had gone wrong. If it could go wrong, it had gone wrong. We all know those situations. Anybody who's in farming will have had that experience. I know I have. And by now, Oliver's grandfather, well, shall we say the farm was just almost gone. It was on its knees, if not further down. But in time, and this agreement was forgotten about. The rent wasn't coming in from the council anymore because the 20 years was up, and that was all they'd set up. The payments for was for 20 years. After that, as far as they were concerned, the rent was no longer to be paid. Now Oliver comes along, and clever solicitor had looked into all this and found this information. As I say, this is 10 years after the time was up, 30 years on from the agreement. And Oliver had wanted money. Now this is where my relation comes in. He's a certain Sir Reefington Merman. Yeah, what a name. I'm glad I'm not stuck with a name like that. He's got his knighthood for services to agricultural business, apparently. I still think it was sucking up to the authorities, but there, I'm not bitter about not having the money he's got. Well, not much. Oliver had gone to him, and there's a video on the internet to show the meeting, and managed to talk Sir Reefington into lending him, I think that was £2 million on the farm. If things went belly up, then the farm would go to St Reefington. I wonder if it had happened, if he'd wanted someone to run up for him. Fancy it some time down by the coast. We'll just have a look, see how much we've got in here. I don't think there's a lot. No, there isn't. Oh dear, 33% at the moment. I'll take that down again. I don't really want that in the way. Just wait for the that's dropped. Just wait for that to drop before we come back. No, I really must fill up with juice too. These little things go through your mind. Well, they go through my mind. Who was that said there's plenty of room for it? Oh, we go the we take the shortcut back. Right, I'll say the solicitor found this agreement, found it was still legal. It had to be honoured. Well, Oliver talked to the council, and they said yes, that it cost so much because it was going to be sold back at a very cheap rate, so it wouldn't be full market price to be sold back to Oliver's family. And he was the last descendant of the grandfather. Everybody else had died off in the meantime. So legally it was his. Finally paid the council back some money. Story goes he went back to St Reefington. Oh, crazy name. Oh, isn't this a lot easier with that tree and the awful pylon in the way? We actually got a proper road through here now, because we have got a road here, but that hasn't been used for donkey's years. About 7 years to my knowledge when the pylon fell down. They came put a new pylon up, but they never removed the old one. They moved most of the others, which were replaced at the same time, but not that one. We were stuck with it for, as I say, a good 7 years I've been on to him to move the damn thing. Anyway, Oliver went back to St Reefington and said, look, I've got this field, I need a little bit of money to buy it, but I'll tell you what, I'll let you have it for repayment of that 2 million I owe you, and you also give me $1 million, so it costs St Reefington 3 million. Market price was somewhere around 5 million at the time. or at the time apparently. The mother-in-law looked into it and checked this out. I think we go a long way around, basically because I don't really want to take a full load down that track. I don't trust it that much. So apparently St. Rivington agreed. Well, there's very little money from them. Oliver's got the 2 million, which was loaned to him anyway, plus an extra $1 million to play with. It can't be bad. What I'd do with someone giving me $1 million, I'd only waste it on, luxuries like food and such like. Now let's see if Chris is about. Just stop up here and just see if he's in his office. You wouldn't believe he actually has an office around the back here. No, can't see him. He must be a day off. But they really do need a new building there. Look at it. It's fallen to bits. I know this area fairly well. I'm getting to know it a bit even better now. No, he's not about, so. For those who don't know, that's good mate Chris Webb, who's in the story now. I have got to come and see him several more times when we cut 19 North, of course. That's all for them. And I got Paul actually looked up to see what the export market is for organic potatoes. Not for the ones we've grown this year, but I'm thinking about taking half of field 11. We're already split in half, but one of those bits of field 11 down to organic potato. That would mean renting a lot of equipment again and renting a big harvester. I'm not doing that with a silly little thing. Believe it or not, I'm not quite that mad. I'm mad, maybe, but I'm not quite that mad. But I fancy going into about all the crops we can. The one we can't do, of course, is soy. We can't source organic soy anymore. We got some for a while, but not anymore. What's better? We may get up to halfway. I don't think there's a site left in there now. Just let the around here you do not run your trailer up. There's power lines all over the place. And if you've ever seen what that does to a tractor, then you know why we don't run with the bucks up. As I say, the buck stops here. Sorry. Now I wonder if I should get in touch with the Rivington and see if he wants to invest in this farm. Well, we are related after all. As I say, it's very, very distant. Fifth or sixth cousin, 4 times removed, I think. Something stupid like that. But we are related. But the funny thing is, the council official, I must slow down a bit down here, don't like this track much, the council official, we think, looking at the records, was related to the Crawford Browns. That sounds like the sort of trick they'd play. Remember, they've been trying to persuade farmers to give up farming around here so they can buy their land for building. They're no better than to try us or Melissa's company. There's no Melissa's company. And that, don't panic on that, that was just a save, hitting an auto save. Who was what's his lordship's company, she's taken it over, and it's actually improving at no end. The solar farm has got the go ahead, and there's going to be solar and wind up there, and that's up high behind BP's farm, behind his cattle farm. and that will mean cheaper power for us. Not going to make too much difference to us. Oh, that's it. We are now completely empty. So we'll spend the rest of the time moving stuff across into the feed mix and get that going again, because I do need to take some more into the cattle. We'll go this way again. Just trying to remember to do the signals. The only thing about this map, I haven't got an auto off on it. About this map, just to get a little bit lazy about checking for traffic. Now, if we do organic potatoes, they will go out through here, which is where I know Kylie's husband used to work before they went to America, the pair of them. I haven't heard from them just lately, but last I heard they're very happy. They're settled in, they had the holiday, and they're starting to work. Well, so this was a long distance phone. It's apparently on something called Skype. Kylie had got in touch with mother-in-law who called me down, had to speak on something called Skype into this microphone thingy. I don't understand at all. And they heard us, and we got pictures of them. They both look very well indeed. Kylie's got a tan now. She never had a tan before. My husband always have had a bit of a tan. I think between you and I, he used to go into the tan salon in the town every so often, just to top his tan up. And if you say anything, I shall swear blind I didn't say it. Let's see what we got here. 48%. It should last us a couple of days anyway. Right, we now go and fill that back up again. Just trying to think if we can. Yes, we can. If we go down this one, we should come out. We should, in theory, come out somewhere near the feed store. Oh, look at these power lines here. I'm glad they're there and not actually marching through the field. I have some friends who've got power lines in the field, and that is a pain trying to work around them. Here we are, we're just coming up to the cattle store, and the feed store should be around there. Yes, there it is. Yes, I was right. This one, we got to go on the road now. I just think I could have took this way back. It's easier. But I know we're right at silage in the feed mixer. Now I'm going to risk back it in here in cab. Yes, I feel in a funny mood today. Oh yes, I did tell Kylie, yes, I was talking to her live, that it's about time she did some work. Now she'd done a signal with her hands which I didn't actually understand. I thought we'd be under it there. Not. It's being a bit too close. I'm not gonna explain the signal. We got it now, but it looked disgusting. In fact, we won't want any more straw. 500,000 litres of straw should be more than enough. We're almost out of silage in here too. I have to check on the. I think the cattle one is almost ready. In the next few days to be ready, but by the same time as we'll be the brake on, face forward. But probably about the same time as we'll be ready to harvest the next load of crops. You know, I think it's called Sod's Law, what I understand of it. Yeah, as I say, they seem to be having a while of a time. They're enjoying the work. They say the people are very nice. The problem is because we quite often round here, with the exception of BP, of course, who lives in the area and is settled in and fitted in nicely. Well, the tourists are not always the best people. Shall we just leave it at that? Quite a few of them are what you think of as the typical loudmouth American, but the majority are not, of course. And they say they are enjoying themselves immensely, even though they are near the Bible Belt, which is a little bit I wouldn't do well there at all. I've been in fights all the time. I don't think I need to go through my beliefs or non-beliefs anymore. No, I hope that we miss that when we tip out, don't we? What? No, that's not the one. That's it. That's the one. I think we take a load and a half of silage. I'm going to put try 2 load. I always tip it back. Wait for the trailer to come down. Then get round before it starts pouring silage, TMR into me trailer. It's all my fear. Turn it from the wrong way. I should have come in from this way to it. It's a lot easier. Straw I know it's okay because we filled that up again when we've done the harvest. Yes, apparently they're talking about coming back next summer to give us all a look and check we're doing it right. Oh, and those who are interested, I haven't heard any more about what Tom's passed, which is a bit of luck. We haven't seen his old acquaintance, but apparently the local Bobby came to see me. Well, it wasn't the local Bobby, it's actually a detective from the town came to see me and said they'd had a quiet word with Laddie, as they called him, and warned him off of the area, and he may have taken some notice of it. Oh dear. Now this goes on the old saying, you don't charge your arm too often. I think I did. Once is probably enough. Whoa! I'm going to get rid of those. That rubbish behind here. I thought I might have hit it there, but no. There's rubbish behind the old sleepers and that. I don't know why we keep them. I'll have to come at a cab. Perhaps it's not quite there yet. There it is. Right. We're doing a lot of silage. Get back to the cab. You didn't see that. Everything went well. We're doing on time. Yeah, we're finished filling up the feed mixer. As we catch up with the news of the area. Timothy Farthing is carrying on as our vicar after, I think, as I told the tale that the Crawford Browns were trying to get rid of them. And it's my desire now is to get rid of the Crawford Browns out of the area. Or at least clip their wings so much they can't get up to any of their shenanigans. They have been behind just about everything that's gone wrong in this valley in the last, well, 6-7 years. Well, because I was at fault really. I was the one who they took the mick out of them several years ago, which led to our originally to our grazing rights and grass rights being taken away from us, which we later discovered was illegal. They couldn't do it, but it's a bit late by then. We got them all back now, and that was actually thanks to Justin, who of course is their son, although he doesn't like to admit that. He's changed his name. He's no longer Justin Crawford Brown, he's now Justin Brown. And his family's doing well, and his little farm. And I haven't seen too much of Cuthbert in the last few days. He must be, I should imagine, his last spray of his fruit before he starts picking. About 2 months away, 2-3 months away from picking, I should imagine. And that's right, I'm going to have to pick ours too. I'll get Tom on the trailer and I'll drive. I remember the days we used to have the gypsies travelling around the area or around the country doing those sort of jobs. Doesn't seem to happen anymore. I would tip this off and we'll get some hay in there. It should only be one load of hay. Also show hair grass. It's a problem with the software on this bin apparently. Again, it's technical. I don't. Well, it's computer. I don't understand. Well, to be more honest, I don't want to understand computers. The devil's work, I tell you. They're the devil's work. Although my son and his partner David, they are very much into that type of thing. They have their own business, and I missed it again. I must see if we get Jack here again. Won't be for a while. We'll probably see if we can get him during the winter. That's it. We will do another cut, if only for the sheep. I haven't checked and see what the sheep are like at that point. See what they look like. I know they're woolly things. Well, not too bad, 73%, they're fine. Cows don't want anything else really. They've got manures going up. Right, let's get this out of here, tip this one up, then I think we'll go back to the farm. And when you come back, we'll be on another growth period. And we'll have a full crew. Paul, of course, in the office now, and he's getting the hang of that. He wasn't really someone who's very good in office work at first, but since he's got no choice now, he seemed to buckle down and got it. Although his turned up electric wheelchairs begin to worry me. He said it turned up by an electrical engineer friend of his, and it should do more than 8 mile an hour. I swear he was doing close to 20 the other day. Doesn't last long, the battery charge. Always has it permanently on charge. Oh, I think he's bringing other batteries in with him. I think he's got spare batteries and he's come on. That's got it. I swear he's topping up all his batteries here. That's better than him doing at home. And he's now moved into what was a ladyship's place. That's it. And that moved to another location in the village. Well, since she and Charles got married, and I have seen the couple a few times. They look very happy. Drunk most of the time, it is true, but they both like a drink. Boy, do they both like a drink. Oh, I better get his trailer back too. Empty it off and get his trailer back. Oh, you got a bit of grass in there. No, I shan't bother to put it anywhere else. We'll just dump this back in the pit here. And we'll have a get back to the cattle. We'll just have a look and see how long it's going to be before we get some more silage, because that is getting low. That's one thing after another, I tell you. And we are now old 22,211. I'm just a matter of rest. Find the right page. And we've got 55,000 loans, so 77,000 we owe. Oh well. Oh yeah, it was this time last year. That's actually very good indeed. And I'm expecting that sometime, probably late winter, we will have a windfall when we come to sell our silage. Let's say, if you remember, Field 1, the maize in there, it's gone for silage in the BGA. I'm not going to bother to make any more silage for ourselves. We've got 2 bunkers of it. And I need to get back now. I must have got the roadway. Well, I have to now because I just got the wrong way again. Could go along the rail track, but the only thing the trains get used for now is freight. It's about 2 passenger trains a day now. Those little sprinter units you see, yeah. Diesel, of course. Don't know exactly how much we've got to sell. How far we've got in trying to find sale points. I know the potatoes, we've got a load going into the pub and the rest are going on the train, I think. Slow down before you hit the bridge. Oh, and of course in other news we have got the elections coming up next year. It should be fun. Boy will that be fun. Expect dirty tricks at that time. Right. I don't know why I'll come back this way. I want to tip this bloody trailer off the other side. Never mind. Well. Such is life. Well, we've got room to put it in here, haven't we? We should need it here next anyway, because that silage should be empty next. And I'm just want to show off my reversing skills some more. Strain it right up. That's better. slowly does it. That'll do. Get out and unhook it and get back to the farm. And another day done. Well, take the brake off and I'll fill this thing up with juice when we get back. So whilst I'm making my way back, we'll do the normal little wind down. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you saw, please consider leaving a like. If you're not subscribed and still wish to see someone battling on FS15, feel free to subscribe. I run this map once a week. I have a 4 days on it. It's on FS17. I'm not that much of a Luddite. It just seems like it. And the crops are coming on nicely. I'm going to leave the fields fallow. I want to move that muck out of there. If I'm not going to put it on the field, I need to move that. Maybe the next job we do, we'll see what the situation's like on crops, on harvest. There we are, back home, and yes, get back to my wind down. Get my head but one screwed on. If you've got any questions, queries, comments, feel free to post them in the comments section under this video. I meant to jump out, that's better, because I'm going to get rid of that, and we just do that. I'll leave the rest of it up. Tractor at rest, and it should be full now, I hope. Yes, it's full. So with that, as I put this thing back home, I'm gonna say it's Mem and saying cheerio for now. Cheerio.